Okay, so in the last video, boys and girls, we were solving some word problems using two different ways. We were using a number line where we were counting the hills and the mountains, or the 1 minute and the 5 minutes intervals. And then we were also using where we could add or subtract as long as they were in the same hour. Well, we are going to continue to do that. But today we're going to look at some other word problems, and they're all going to be within 1 hour as well. We're going to use our number line again. So I have created our number line. You can see I start at 0, I end at 60, 5-minute intervals in between. And you see I wrote down 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock. And let's talk about Carlos. So Carlos gets to class at about 9:08 a.m. So I'm going to plot 9:08 on our number line. So I count 5, 10. Oop, 10 is too many, so I know I'm going to need some ones. So 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's what time Carlos gets to class. Now, the very first thing that he does is he will write down his homework assignments because he's responsible. So if he gets to class at 9:08, the very first thing he does is write down his homework assignments. And that takes him 4 minutes. So what I'm going to do is plot that point on my number line. And I'm going to do that by counting on 4 more minutes. So there's 1, 2. Oop, I can't go a whole 5, so I'm going to need some ones. 3, 4. So if I look, that would be 9, 10, 11, 12. So at 9:12, Carlos is going to be done with, Carlos will be all done writing down his homework assignments. Now at 9:30 is when time math starts, okay? So let's plot the time math starts right here. So if I look at my number line, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And above that, I'm going to write an M for math, okay? So here's where he is at, okay? He's got his homework assignments written down at 9:12, and here's what time math starts. Now, the thing about it is that between 9:12 and 9:30 is the time that Carlos has to finish all the rest of his morning work. I'm going to figure out how many minutes it takes Carlos to finish his morning work. So we're from 9:12 to 9:30. I'm trying to figure out how much time that is. Okay? So what I could do is I could count on from 9:12 to 9:30 using my hills and my mountains. That is certainly one way. So I say, okay, we go 1, 2, 3, plus 3. That gets me, those little hills, gets me to my big tick mark, and now I can make my mountains. And so I go 1, 2, 3 mountains, gets me right there. Remember, each mountain is worth 5. So 5, 10, 15. So 15 plus 3, that would equal 18 minutes that it took him to finish his morning work. Now, I could do this a different way. So I'm going to leave that here so we can see if that agrees. So I know I'm at 9:12, and I know that he finishes at 9:30. So I could say I could subtract those two. So if we look at that, can I take 2 from 0? Nope. So I can borrow from my 3, regroup, which we'll keep working on. 10 minus 2 is 8. 2 minus 1 is 1. Oh, did I get the same answer? I sure did. Okay, so we got a new timeline and a new problem that we're going to solve. Let's say that Gia, Carlos's classmate, gets to class at 9:11. Okay, so let's start by plotting when she gets to class. So we count 5, 10, 15. 15 is going to be too much, so I know I need some ones. So we count, okay, 5, 10, 11, 9, 11. That's when she gets to class, okay? And then let's say it takes her 19 minutes to write her homework assignments down and get her morning work done. Can we figure out, will Gia be ready to start math at 9:30? Well, let's figure it out. So we're at 9:11, and I know I need to add on 19 more minutes and see where that takes me. So I'm going to start by counting my hills. And I'm going to count 19 minutes by doing hills and then mountains. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 4 minutes is there, and I need 19, so I've got 15 more to go. So 5, 10, 15. Ooh, is that going to get her to math time? If math time starts at 9:30? It sure is. But what if, well, let's try this a different way. Let's make sure that our time was correct. So let's see, okay, if she starts at 9:11, and it's going to take her 19 minutes. Let's add 19 minutes on because it's the same hour, and let's see if that gets us to 9:30 like we had. 9 plus 1 is 10. We carry our 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1, 3. And we bring down our 9. Did I get to the same time? I sure did. Will she be ready to start math at 9:30? Barely, but she will be done. So just like we did yesterday, boys and girls, we can use 2 different ways to help solve word problems that fall within 1 hour. You can choose what way works best for you. We might find it easiest to use a number line where we can draw our hills, our 1 minutes, and our mountains, our 5-minute tick marks. Or we might find it easiest to add and subtract like this. Either way, you're going to use your word problem skills where you're reading your word problems, finding the important information, figuring out what they're asking you, and then you're going to use one of these 2 methods to help you solve. There are some more pages for you to practice, and then when you get done, if you have any questions, make sure you reach out and ask Mr. Rush or I.